Welcome to the TechLifeWell Podcast. We're delighted to have you with us.
Where we make technology simple, thoughtful, and useful. For more insights and episodes, visit TechLifeWell.com.
If you've been paying any attention to, well, anything in tech for the last couple of years, AI isn't some far-off concept anymore. It's a utility.
Oh, absolutely.
It's everywhere. In our writing apps, design software, how we do research, even just basic office tools.
It really is. And that's precisely where the friction lies for a lot of people.
Very overwhelmed.
Exactly. The sheer volume of options. I mean, it feels like a new tool or a new feature launches every single week, and it can be paralyzing to figure out where you should even invest your time and energy.
Right. You're just trying to do your job better, whether that's drafting a report or making a presentation, but you open this AI toolbox and you're just staring at 1,000 different wrenches.
1,000 specialized wrenches.
Yeah. So our mission for this deep dive is to be your guide through that. We've gone through a whole stack of sources that categorize these different AIs, and the central insight really is that not all AI tools solve the same problem.
That is the key takeaway. Some are brilliant with language, just masters of fluency. Others are visual geniuses. And then you have others that are just purely built for crunching data or for automation or even collaboration.
So we're not here to crown one single best AI tool.
No, not at all. We're here to help you get up to speed by answering a much more strategic question, which is, what specific task am I trying to improve, and what tool is custom built to do exactly that?
We're matching the right tool to the right job. So let's start by just setting the landscape. It's pretty remarkable how quickly AI has become foundational across so many different professional areas.
It is.
Our sources really highlight a few key buckets: writing and communication, visual design, deep research, and of course, productivity and automation.
And what's really fascinating to me is how these tools augment, rather than replace very distinct human skills. Historically, if you wanted to get better at writing and design and research, that meant mastering 3 separate, really difficult disciplines.
Right, years of work.
Years. Now, AI gives you a way to enhance each one, but, and this is the big but, it only works if you understand the tool's core strength. The real aha moments happen when you stop using a hammer to try and fix a light switch.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, let's jump in with the most common entry point for pretty much everyone: communication. We'll call this segment writing and language tasks.
Yeah, this is the world of drafting, summarizing, brainstorming.
So who's the big player here?
Well, when you talk about sheer versatility, ChatGPT is still sort of the Swiss Army knife. It's the default for general writing, brainstorming, quick summaries, getting, a clear explanation of a new topic.
So drafting an email, structuring a simple report, that kind of thing.
Exactly. If you need to learn the basics of something complex and fast, it's really the generalist champion.
But sometimes you need more than a generalist. What if I'm moving beyond just a quick draft and I have to tackle something really long form, like a huge policy document or massive research review? Where does that generalist start to fall short?
And that is when you need a specialist like Claude. The crucial difference here isn't just about the quality of the language, it's about the context window.
The context window.
Right, its capacity. Claude is specifically built for long-form, structured writing because it can handle much, much larger inputs and maintain coherence across that entire document.
What are we talking about in terms of scale?
Think of it in pages. A typical generalist tool might handle, say, 50 pages of text for a summary. Claude is engineered to handle documents with over 100,000 tokens. It's a huge difference.
Wow, okay, that's immense. So if I'm uploading a really long industry report or a dense legal brief and I need to pull out key takeaways, Claude is the tool for that.
It's the document whisperer. It remembers the details from page 1 when it's working on page 50.
Yeah.
And for policy style or academic writing, that's absolutely vital.
Okay, but what about team workflows? That's another beast entirely.
Right, and that's where integration becomes the most important factor.
Yeah, because if the tool makes me copy and paste between a separate chat window and my project management system, I've already lost all the efficiency.
You've lost the game. And that's the strength of something like Notion AI. It's designed for collaborative environments because it's built directly into the notes, the project plans, the documentation, all within the platform.
So it lives where the work lives.
Precisely. You can ask it to summarize last week's meeting notes because they're already in Notion, or draft a project spec based on a timeline that's right there. You never leave your main workflow.
That kind of integration, it really shifts AI from being a separate app to just being a feature of the app you're already in.
Exactly.
Okay, moving beyond words, let's talk visuals. The progress AI has made in design and image creation is, it's probably the most stunning and instantly visible development we've seen.
Oh, for sure. And the visual space is highly specialized. Choosing the right tool here depends entirely on your goal. Are you making finished art, or are you just trying to speed up a professional workflow?
Let's start with the first one. My goal is high-quality, high-fidelity artistic output. Something that needs to look incredible for, say, a marketing campaign. What's the go-to?
That would be Midjourney. It's widely considered the leader for producing really artistic, detailed, and aesthetically complex images.
Why is that?
Its models just prioritize creative interpretation and visual quality above all else. It's why designers and high-end creatives prefer it. They need images that genuinely stand out, that have a distinct style. It's a pure generator, focused only on maximum output quality.
Okay, but what if I'm not that? I'm not a professional creative. I just need a really good-looking, presentation-ready design, and I probably needed it yesterday.
Right.
And my design skill is, moving boxes around in PowerPoint.
Then you need to look at accessibility, and that is the world of Canva AI. Our sources all point to Canva because it just dramatically lowers the barrier to entry.
It's for everyone.
It's for everyone. It gives you AI-powered layouts, images, branding tools, all for fast, ready-to-go designs. It lets someone with basically zero design experience generate polished, functional visuals very quickly. It's all about speed and the democratization of design.
So we've got the elite artist with Midjourney and the quick, accessible design with Canva. Where does a giant like Adobe fit in with its tool, Firefly?
Firefly is aimed squarely at the experienced professional designer. Its whole selling point is integration into the professional tools they already use.
So inside Photoshop and Illustrator.
Exactly. It's not just about making a new image from scratch. It's about providing these advanced creative workflows inside the software. Think about generative fill. The ability to expand a canvas or change a texture, all while respecting your existing layers and masks.
That's a huge difference.
It's critical. It maintains the control and fidelity that professionals demand. AI becomes an intelligent extension of their process, not a separate thing they have to go to.
So integration into the workflow versus a standalone engine. Got it. All right, let's pivot to the more analytical side. Research and data analysis. This is where AI is just Esther. It's cutting down so much time we used to spend gathering and making sense of mountains of information.
It is transformative, especially in academic and technical fields. And here, we really have to talk about Perplexity AI.
And why it's different from a standard large language model.
Yes. The key thing is cited answers.
The citations, right. That's the game changer for anyone who needs to validate their sources.
It is. Perplexity gives you cited real-time answers. So unlike a standard LLM that generates a response from its static training data, which could be old or biased, Perplexity is actively scanning the live web and scholarly articles, and it tells you exactly which sources it used.
So for fact-checking or technical work, that transparency is everything.
It's invaluable. It helps you verify the information, not just blindly trust the output.
But hold on, if Perplexity is mainly citing public web sources, what happens if my research involves, say, private company data? Does that citation model become a weakness?
That's a really important point. For closed internal systems, Perplexity's strength is its weakness. You'd need a system like Microsoft Copilot, which we can talk about in a bit, that has permission to access your internal databases securely. Perplexity is for the public sphere of knowledge.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of specialization, what about Elicit? That one was hyper-focused on academic papers.
Elicit is tailor-made for literature reviews. It doesn't just summarize. It's designed to pull out specific, structured data from research papers.
Like what?
Like if you're reading dozens of scientific studies and you need to quickly find the methods they used or the sample size or the main findings, Elicit does that for you. It automates that extraction process.
So it shifts the work from manual grunt work to actual analysis.
Exactly. But it's really important to stress the limitation here, which our sources make very clear. These tools organize and summarize. They don't replace human analysis.
Right. They don't do the thinking for you.
Absolutely not. They dramatically reduce the time you spend gathering and organizing, which is a massive productivity gain. But you, the human, still need to analyze the data, determine its context, and apply critical thinking. It just frees up your cognitive energy.
That phrase, freeing up cognitive energy, is the perfect bridge to our last category, productivity and automation.
Yes.
If you want the fastest, most direct return on time saved in your day-to-day work, this is where to focus.
The whole goal here is workflow optimization, removing repetitive tasks. And we have two really different tools to talk about. First, Zapier.
Which people often call the glue between different apps.
That's a perfect description. It's used to automate workflows between applications, and it does it without you needing to code.
Can you give an example?
Sure. You could set it up to automatically create a new record in your CRM every time a specific type of email hits your inbox, and then have an AI summarize that email before it gets filed.
All without you touching it.
All automatically. It basically democratizes these complex integrations for people who aren't developers.
That's huge for small businesses or
Right.
just individuals. Then you have the institutional giant, Microsoft Copilot.
And this is structurally different. It's not linking external systems. It's embedding AI directly into your everyday work inside the Microsoft 365 world. Outlook, Word, Excel, Teams.
How does that integration make it more valuable than, say, a general LLM?
The difference is it's strategic, permissioned access to your organization's internal data.
Your company did.
Your company's data. So if you ask Copilot in Outlook to draft a follow-up email, it can look at your previous emails, your calendar, even internal project docs stored securely on SharePoint. It's leveraging your entire corporate context to give you a highly relevant, accurate response. A public tool just can't do that.
So it helps you where you already spend most of your workday.
Exactly. So whether it's Zapier removing manual data transfer or Copilot using secure corporate context, the key benefit is delegating that repetitive effort. If AI handles drafting a basic reply or the first pass at a report, your focus can shift to high-value work. Strategy, client relationships, complex problem solving, real creativity.
Okay, let's bring all this together. We've covered a ton of ground, from art generation to research to automation.
And the core lesson from all the sources is really clear. It requires a bit of a mental shift. The most important question you should be asking isn't, what's the best AI tool?
Because that answer changes every month anyway.
Every month. Instead, the strategic question has to be, what specific bottleneck am I trying to improve right now?
And once you define that task clearly, the tool choice follows.
That's it. If you need secure corporate drafting, you look at Copilot. If you need to analyze a massive document, you use Claude. If you need verifiable cited research from the web, you use Perplexity. Writing, design, research, automation, they all require different specialists. Success comes from that clarity of purpose.
It reframes the whole thing from just reacting to new tech to being strategic about efficiency. It's about being intentional with your toolkit.
It is. And as we wrap up, I think it's important to remember the central message here. These AI tools are not replacements for human expertise. They're something much more powerful. They're amplifiers of expertise.
And when you use them thoughtfully, matching their strengths to your specific needs, they help you work smarter, faster, and with much greater clarity.
The real value of this deep dive isn't a list of tool names. It's understanding the categories and the strategy behind choosing. And since these tools are freeing up the time you used to spend just gathering and organizing information, here's a final thought for you to consider. What specific human, strategic, or creative task are you now prepared to focus on? Where will you direct your energy now that all that repetitive effort is off your plate?
That's a huge question to think about.
Yeah.
Stay curious, be intentional, and let this technology really work for you.
Ah.
Thank you for diving deep with us.